You're chasing a feeling. That's all any of us are doing, right? We spend our days chasing feelings. Feelings of wanting to feel accomplished. I want to feel loved. I want to feel appreciated. I want to feel respected. I want to feel worthy. I want to feel needed, wanted. Most of our day is spent chasing a feeling, okay? So what does this mean to you? Well, oftentimes we make the mistake of thinking that we need things, or I need a new job, and then if I get a $10,000 raise, I will finally be proud of myself and I will finally feel accomplished, okay? I will feel love if I finally get married. I will finally feel that I am complete. Okay, so we're always chasing these feelings. The reason this is important is because oftentimes we make the mistake of not realizing that if we put this condition around what this feeling, what has to happen in order for this feeling to be triggered, for it to be felt, for this emotion to be experienced, we oftentimes distance ourselves and create this gap, this huge distance, this huge gap between where we are right now and what we want to feel. And for example, if all of a sudden you're like, hey, in order for me to feel complete, I need to find Mr. Right. Okay. Well, if it takes a year on Bumble or 2 months on Tinder or luck of the draw, either way, you're setting yourself up to every day not feel complete because you've set the condition. You set this condition that I will be happy when, I will feel love when, I will feel pride when, I feel proud, accomplished, whatever it is. When you set these conditions for a feeling that involves something much, much too big, much, much too far away, you exist in lack every day. And then you start to feel depressed. You start to have these lower vibe emotions. When you have the lower vibe emotions, now all of a sudden you shifted the alignment. Now all of a sudden you've lowered the chances of you aligning with that which you desire. Why? Because you created the lack. You created too much space. So how do you fix it? Well, let's talk about it. My name is Dr. Jay Kavanaugh of The Vibe Mindset. I love you, even though I don't know you. This is true. Message me. I will prove to you that I genuinely love you. Anyways, it's a rainy Friday here in Connecticut, but I like rain. So you know what? It ain't dreary. It's happy. It's all your perspective, right? But my goal is for everyone to be very aware of their vibe, their emotions, their frequency, their energy, and also realize that you have to imagine things ahead of the event happening. You can't, the airplane wasn't created until it was imagined first. The light bulb wasn't created until it was imagined first. So if you want to imagine a different feeling, if you want to imagine a new you, a better version of you, you're already great, but maybe you want to be a hair better, a hair this, a hair that, just better. We all want to. We all want to strive to be the best that we can be, right? In the short time that we're here. So what I want you to do is always remember that it all centers around your vibe. What is your vibe? And the vibe is also kind of a synonym for what's your energy level? What's your vibe? What's your frequency? What are you giving off? What are you feeling, right? A vibe is a feeling, you know? Think about it. How many times has someone said to you, oh, I just like this guy's vibe? You know, like you might hear me talking and say, I don't know what is about this guy, but I just like his vibe. Okay, so you like the energy. That person's energy is off. There's people whose energy is off. You don't want to be near there. But the whole thing is everything that causes us to move either forward to something or pull away from something, it starts with a feeling, okay? So we're always chasing a feeling, or sometimes we're even running away from it. So we're either chasing the feelings that we want to feel, elevated emotions, or a lower vibe emotion we might try to pull away from. So what do we do with this information? If there's nothing to do with this is just pure entertainment, you might as well be texting grandma on your phone. Does your grandma have a cell phone, by the way? If not, Christmas is coming. Great idea for her. She'll love it. It'll only take her 12 hours to learn how to use it, but it's worth it. Great way to spend time with grandma. Anyways, so when you realize that everything we do is feeling based, it really empowers you. Why? Because we know that feelings are designed and emotions are designed to create movement, to create change. So a lot of us sometimes aren't realizing, we don't have that self-awareness enough. We haven't developed it enough to the point where we realize that if I feel a certain way, and I'm talking whether it's good or bad, if I feel a certain way, all it is my body and my mind working together to try to get me to do something different. To do something different. If it's a lower vibe, okay? So let me give you an example. Let's say that you feel kind of somber, depressed, melancholy. Haven't used that word in a while. I kind of like it. It's not happy, but it's a cool word. Melancholy. So you're feeling a little melancholy and all of a sudden you're like, geez, I just feel miserable. Okay, whoa. Feelings are set up to try to get you to act. So even if you could develop the awareness to the level where you could step outside of that feeling of being melancholy, sad, upset, frustrated, name the emotion, it doesn't matter. Even if the emotion doesn't feel good, it's trying to tell you something. It's like this little voice trying to get your attention to say, please step outside of yourself, think about your thoughts, these feelings you're having, and maybe some of the actions you've taken or are about to take, and ask yourself, will these actions, do these thoughts serve me? Do I like this feeling? So that's an example of a feeling that you may not be chasing, but maybe running away from. But it's like, why would you want to run away from awareness? Because isn't that essentially what it is? Wouldn't you want to stay and think for a second, create a little space and say, all right, hey, I don't like the way this feels. However, I'm conscious enough to stop for 1 second and say, what is it really trying to get me to do? I am frustrated. Why? I'll tell you why you're frustrated. Because you keep thinking about something that either has happened and you wish it went a different way, and you keep replaying all these different scenarios to the point where you go freaking crazy and you and Pinot Grigio become best friends, okay? Or, which by the way, that is a good friend to have. I'm friends with Chardonnay, if you ever want to meet Chardonnay. So you have to ask yourself, are you aware enough of your emotions, and do you realize whether elevated or lower vibe emotions, are you aware of the fact that it's just your body and energy and source and the universe trying to tell you to do something different, or maybe just question what you're doing? Just be aware of what you might be thinking. Just be aware that maybe if you take an action under this emotional state, it may not be the best action to take. We know that the decisions we make and the actions we take are hugely influenced by our emotions. If that's the case, then shouldn't we become more conscious and more aware of our emotions? Knowing that we as human beings are a result of the decisions that we make, the multiple decisions we make, tens, hundreds of decisions, micro decisions every single day are made by you, by me, by us. We make all these decisions, and we know for a fact, it has been proven time and time again, that your emotional state is a guidance system for the decisions you make. So wouldn't it be nice to know what emotion you're feeling and then be aware of it, reflect on it, learn from it, ask it to either stay or leave? Take some thoughts and move some things around to kind of shift or raise that vibe up? 100%. Now, if you have any questions, would love to hear them below, by the way. I love getting questions from you guys and would love to hear from you. I want to build a community with like-minded people just like you and your grandmother. So with this said, my final comment is this. Be more aware of your emotions and your vibe and ask yourself, does this vibe serve me or not? What is this vibe trying to guide me towards or pull me away from? Is this the right decision? Is this smart? Are these emotions a residual part of maybe some past experience or past event I have, and I've tagged an emotion to it, and I keep replaying and reliving that experience and therefore that emotion? And if so, is that serving me or not? If it's not, can I take a step back and learn from it? Can I grow from it? Is there something here? Is there a learning lesson here? So there's so much fun stuff when you become conscious and you become aware. And you become aware of the fact that you're running on this program and that emotions aren't good or bad. They're just there. And we tag these experiences with these emotions. And there's so much, okay, to learn from emotions, okay? So start asking more questions. Start feeling emotions, embracing emotions, identifying where they came from, identifying new emotions you want to feel, setting an intention as to what actions you need to take and what thoughts you need to have and what things need to happen, what experiences in your life need to happen in order for you to feel that emotion. If you want to feel proud, set an intention. What thing can I do today to feel pride? It's that simple. You know, we've got these self-help books that are this thick, but the more I read them and have read them, and the more I listen to personal development videos or whatever's out there, the more I realize it just comes down to creating your vibe, being aware of your vibe. It's all about emotions. We're chasing emotions all the time. So what emotions are you chasing? And are you making them too distant and too far to obtain? Or is there a qualification that you're placing in order to feel that emotion? I can only feel loved when. I can only feel accomplished when. I can only feel when. No. Make it unconditional. Close the gap. Find some quick, easy wins to get that feeling. Because the more that you can close the gap to feel what it is you want to feel, the more comfortable and familiar that feeling becomes, and the easier it is to get more of that feeling, and the more you raise your vibe, and the closer you get to that what you ultimately desire. You close the gap. Close the gap. All right, thank you so much for your time. And if you guys want, we got these two other videos here. This one right here, there's no nudity, but seriously, you should check it out. It's still good. And this one, no baking recipes. I know those are huge on the internet right now, but this video is pretty good too. Just not for bakers. It's not what it's for. Not for you guys. We love you. That's not your video though. If you're a baker, I wouldn't watch any of my videos, to be honest with you.